Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Face2Face Podcast. My name is Nicole Kamwendo, and as always, it's a pleasure to be your host. Joining me on this episode is a man whose name has become one when it comes to impact. Ngati pali nkhani zimene zimafufuzidwa Malawi muno mama zifufuza ndiyeyo. Ndeno, Mr. Rodwell, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Nicole.
How does it feel to be the one answering the questions this time?
It's new.
So you know what, before we get into everything, tell people about you, because there are different faces of Rodwell. We know you as the poet. We see your face on banners now. You're a property manager. You do so many things. So tell us who you are.
A lot of things. I am a poet. I have been doing poetry. Of course, now with a lot of things, as you've said, that part is suffering. But I own Citizen Real Estate, a property management firm, which I ran as CEO. So that's why you see me around.
On a very big billboard.
On a big billboard in Blantyre. And then the Citizen Impact Foundation,
Yes.
which has this talk show that you guys see, us investigating and then helping people as well. Yeah.
So you've built a very public image around helping people, storytelling, and like you said, the interventions that you do, you actually don't just tell the stories.
Yes.
You take the extra mile of actually helping them.
Yes.
But when was the last time you genuinely needed help emotionally and then nobody noticed?
That's a very good one. We're all human by the end of the day, and it's very rare that when you are the one being the platform or you're the one helping people, that people might think about you helping you.
The help.
Yeah, because by the end of the day, everybody sees you as the strong one, as the one that will carry everyone on your back. So I just family, of course, that are always checking up on me.
Of course.
Like, how are you doing? And so on. Like, I get so busy sometimes and family calls, like, no, we want to see you. And I think that helps. Close friends and so on. But by the end of the day, not so many people would think about helping the one that helps.
Do you ever feel resentful sometimes where it's like the phone calls are always, "Hi, Rodwell, we need you to go to Tandizabena Vacation Chan. Hi, Rodwell." And it's never just, "Rodwell, what do you need?"
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Being with me, like on a full day, I get a lot of calls. A lot of calls that some you even get tired of picking calls. Everybody is calling from Chitipa, from Zimba, from Chikwawa and Sanje. Everybody's like, we need help. We need help. So, yeah, nobody asks, what do you need? Nobody asks, how do you survive? What are you selling? Like, can we help maybe by buying or whatever? But everybody's just,
wanting something from you.
Yeah, but then...
Do you ever take holidays?
Not yet. I haven't yet started.
You mean you haven't rested ever since?
No. Like, I remember in December, I wanted a time for myself. But then I went to Salima, Kunyanja, and then the very first day I was there, I met a case. So I wouldn't let that slide. And then I called my guys, Tabuya and Jambule and whatnot. And then we were there for work. Yes, Navida and Dekaba holiday. So I haven't yet started taking holidays, so to say.
Speaking of your content, there was a period where your videos were focusing on vulnerable women, vulnerable children, and they were dominating a lot. Those stories were dominating. When did you start to realize that you're not just telling stories, now you're actually being part of people's survival? Because had it not been for you, those stories would not have been highlighted. They wouldn't have been helped.
Yeah. The very aim of me telling stories was to help people. I did not just start a talk show for people to watch, but the very first instance was to start by intervening in their lives. So the moment our first episode went viral is the moment that I took advantage to say, okay, now is the time that all these people that have watched can now start taking a step in helping the people, the stories that they have watched. So since then, in 2021, we started up to what we are now.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Some of the people you help come from situations that, as Malawians, we usually just discuss them privately, gombari. Like, they're not stories that we like to talk about in public. So after filming and leaving those environments, like, what stays on your mind the longest? Like, when you've talked to the mothers, the abandoned mothers, the abuse that you see almost on a daily, what lingers with you the most?
At first, it was very hard to live with. Because, like, way back when we had very few people watching us and following us, there were situations that we couldn't meet or we couldn't do anything about. So you could meet a problem and then, there's really nothing much that I or my people can do about this. So that was hard. But with time, I got the idea that we can always intervene. So by the end of the day, the problems, they always stay with me. When I go home, and after that, I always think about how can we at least intervene just to change any little thing in their lives. Because by the end of the day, that's what we want. If we cannot help to improve the whole situation, we can try to change anything that we can manage in someone's life.
So the Citizen Talk Show is essentially journalism. Let's call it what it is. It is journalism to some extent.
To some extent.
It is. You're covering stories. You're putting them out there. So now there's this debate that exists about the kind of stories that you do. And you actually, there's that, where's the balance? How does the balance come in between exploiting, using those stories to exploit them? And it's like that balance. How do you find that balance? Where are you exploiting the stories for popularity?
Yes. Or
are you actually covering these stories from a genuine place?
Let me take you back a little bit on why I started doing what I do. I grew up. I was born in Chisi, in a very small place, from very poor parents. Up to some age. But when I was staying with my mom, we were very poor that we could not afford daily meals. Like, tumakali mitaufa, you get? There were times where we were going kukali mitsanzimbe, kulima, and then when we're done, and then we would sit down and eat, and then carry some and go home. So this is the life that I grew up with until one of my brothers, Anagandidenka, from the village, Naiso, Adapeza Kaganyu, and I came to town. But this is what I grew up with. Kukala nyumba mauzu yosinja. So this life that is the foundation, is the basis of me. So growing up, I have been seeing people like living the way I used to live. And I understand that all they need is 500 kwacha to survive that day. All they need is 1,000 to survive that day. So I made myself a platform where these people can come through and say, we need help. We need 1,000 kwacha. We need 200 kwacha to survive the day. So this is basically what we do. And people that follow us are the people that these things resonate with them. They can relate, they connect, they understand what I understand. They have seen this life that I've talked about. So, and then they say, okay, fine, I can help, I can do that. So by the end of the day, the popularity is coming in because these people see what I am doing and how I understand the life that most Malawians are living. So by the end of the day, it's not, for me, it's not exploitation for popularity, but it's coming from a genuine place where I share the life that these people are living. Because for us, it doesn't end by filming the story. We have always been following up our stories. Okay. So we have stories that date back to 2022. We still go there today. Okay. We still follow. And this is outside the talk shows that we do. Because if we film the story and then it's done, we go to another story. But we keep following these people. Okay. And if they are kids, we take them, we put them in schools. Up to date, we have over 12 children that are in school, and we are paying fees for these kids. We are doing all of that. So it's more than what people see. There are things going on in the background, and there are stories that we do not show. Okay. But stories that we cover and we help as well. So
we're going to come to the stories that you don't show, but I have this question.
Yeah, we have. So that's for Panovabo, right? But we've been meeting that. Okay. Somebody would say, okay, you can film the story, yeah? But when I watch Bale, who come and say, no, this person shares my surname. What do you mean? And say, no, no, man. I mean, this person looks like me. We have had those cases. I remember I had these kids from Area 22. And they were below 13. So, and I met them and I wanted to broadcast the story. And the uncle came through and said, no. These kids in the Anambalawanga, we share the same surname. I'm like, but you're not helping them. So just leave. We don't need. Yeah, we don't need your help. We don't need anything from you. Just go. So we do meet these things and we understand, especially when they're kids, there is nothing we can do. Then it's no. And we used to bring them they bend them.
Wow.
Yeah, and we don't need your help. So it happened. Yeah. We don't need your help. We do not want to see you here ever again. Yeah, but this is a man that anabwera Ford Ranger and yet these kids are gonna ninja. We guys over as just ofunda. Yes, coach at my bread is men abweresa kuika pompat. Bend all of them. So yeah, we do meet those.
That's just another level of cancer.
Yeah.
Is there ever been a case you're doing munai jumble and then you're like, no, when it's too sensitive to put on social media, and then munazi wins also?
A lot.
Oh.
A lot.
Okay.
We have had cases where I do watch them and say, okay, no, we can't broadcast this. So we can just intervene if we can. So if we can't, sadly, there is nothing we can do. We do meet those situations. Yeah. So
what do you in that situation? Is it a decision that you make personally, with the team, and then you all decide as a team?
Basically, it's a team. So we sit down, look at it. As you said, we've already filmed it, and then we will be like, okay, this is sensitive. For the public eye, so no, we can't. After we've Fatima on I saw it. So after we've watched it again, after we've watched what we filmed, we're like, okay, no, this is not okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Now I'm very curious. Command for social media.
Yeah.
So munambapo mwagomana ndi anthu who bring you nkhani yabodza.
Yeah.
And then you fufuza it. What happens now?
Yeah. We do meet that a lot also.
Really?
Kumambiriro, we just, as time went by, we've learned to investigate. So every story now, Timaipanga investigate, we go to where the story has happened, we seek consent. Kumambiriro ngangopanga. Munhu akatibwetsa a story, we believed it was true, and then we filmed, we're excited, we could move with it, you know? So we've met quite a few stories that are not true. For example, just I think a month or 2 months ago, tumapanga story ya muntu amene amanotana kwakufa. Claimed, you know, I was dead. Then I'm back to life. So kumfufuza muntu akuoneka kuti amangofuna zoti akakhale ku family kumene anafa nyamata winayo, just because zinthu zake
sizinomuendera. And then somebody else was claiming kuti
yes, so munthu analoweza the whole history ya nyamata uja and whatnot, and then came to Chinsapo and said, I am that boy that died. And showed himself to the family and whatnot. So the family, no way, so
I know it's not funny, but
and then Kumfusa was like, no, I'm at the center man. So you Komano, like Kungo Invankani Kumambirido, you'd be like, the way he was telling the history, almost everybody around believed him. I'm a chula Nyamara now. We know I would Castle beat of a ground. So and then we had to dive deep into the story and later found out good. No, this
How did you find out that he was lying though? Because that sounds so convincing.
Exactly, very convincing. And when I first heard it, I was like, no, I'm a chula kumunzi kwawo kwazimai kwa iniage family aja and whatnot. So I was like, nah, I think there must be some connection. This could be true.
Did a part of you start believing?
Yes.
Yes.
And then when I thought about the guy now. I said, no, let me dig deep into this guy. Sangango kala muntu died, and then we looked into him. Neno. So he moved from Neno, I don't know, somehow, and then he found himself in Chisabo. Turns out he has been doing this. I'm back to life and whatnot. People believe it.
So he's a con artist.
He is, and he's so good at it.
Hey, did you report him to police?
Yeah, we did. We reported him, and a police said, "No, I know the guy." So yeah, we do meet. They just need help, really.
So okay, now with the work that you do, many people think that humanitarian content that you make is compassion, it's goodwill. But how exhausting is it managing that expectation that you get from people? How do you are our last hope? How do you
that's really a good one. Now we have a problem where everybody is expecting me to help them. So that expectation is not doing us any good. Because if also we have selected stories that we want to cover.
Yeah, because you can't help every single person.
Yes. So we have guidelines on what stories to cover. We don't just do any story now. So, but then everybody comes and says, okay, but I need help. And why not me? What have you seen in me?
The entitlement starts to come.
Exactly. So, but by the end of the day, we would like people to understand, which I know is very hard, that we cannot help everyone. And just because everyone has a problem doesn't mean that we'll cover that. There are selected stories, and we have guidelines where Panova mostly Timabangana ndi Azmai.
Okay.
Yeah, so they would come a man and say, okay, but I'm
also struggling.
Yes, but this is not what we do. And then, but this man still needs help.
Yeah.
And they say all of these things and say, okay, so what do you see? And they don't understand. And this is growing by the day.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
What's the most financially reckless thing that you've done to help someone's situation?
The most reckless thing? I think we've had cases where people would just donate money, and then way back we could just get the money and give to that person. And when I saw 2 million, if I don't get 2 million, this is a person that win 100,000 and I agree you.
2 million.
Exactly. And I can get my hands on 1 million or on 100,000. Kungumpasa 2 million kwaja. Ikamata 2-3 weeks I need help. I need money. So panovano we have learned before we give them the money to on how to manage it, to make them realize, to make their mind accept they're going to have more money than what they have probably made in the past.
Okay.
So how should they handle it? What should they do with the money? Or if they get you could we 20 bags we take those bags of maize and say, okay, they will say, no, how? And then so we have to
teach them how to manage.
Yes, because if we do not, and they will come back to our office and in the phone, okay, like we just give
so
this
like, how do you
money.
balance that? How do you manage that? How do you cut that person off? I don't know if this is going to sound wrong or right.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you ever put your foot down and be like, Inu basi?
We're done.
Hey.
So all of that has been a learning curve for us.
Okay.
For like we've said, most people think that because this person gave me money,
he's always going to give you money.
Yeah. So I'll go and tell him kuri wizata. But right now, before we give them what people have donated, we need to let them know this is once off.
Okay.
We are going to give you donations that these people have given. You see this list. And donate these are clothes, these are beddings and whatnot. And these are once off. Like, you're never gonna get this ever again. Unless somebody watches the story later and says, no, I would like, but those are very rare occasions. But when this happens, we're not going to give you anything else. Have you used the money right? Because business, if they don't have panga madonas and whatnot, so find somebody to teach them that, and then she knows something and how to manage it. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Have you the help that you give these people, someone says strangers, essentially they're strangers until you get to know them. Has it ever caused tension, like with your family and friends, and your friends who see, because I can imagine the amount of money that you get looks like a lot on the surface, like it's a lot of money that Rodo is getting, and I'm sure there's some people who think
Panova, there's so many people that because of what I do, they think that I'm very rich. And that because 5 million and people will be like, okay, but why can't you just get that money? And it's very hard, I think, for people to understand that even that money is not my money. It's not our money, but we're just a platform that is raising those funds to go to a particular cause. Sitingauze anthu kuti no ndrama mwapanga donate zija. I have a relative in the village ofunika kuti naye wakuvutika ndikamu, you know, and we can also not say kuti no ineso ndindazibale anga mungo sonkhera anthu dera, I think tiyeni kwathu it's wrong. So I have accepted that I'm doing this for the people, and everyone close to me, my family and everybody else need also to accept.
Have you ever lost friends because of this?
I have. Of course, whenever you are taking a path, you always lose friends. So, yeah, I have lost friends. Friends that have expected me to, you know, give them something or do something otherwise that they expected, but I haven't. So, yeah, you eventually lose them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine how that must feel, eh?
Yeah, like you miss them and say, okay, but you have to accept. That's life. Really.
So also now I'm curious, when the camera goes off, what does your life now look like? Is it constantly reconnecting with the people that you've interviewed, like the stories that you've covered, the cases that you have? What's your life like when the camera is off?
We do connect, but they must understand that, and also they expect more. When time and again, you know, I'll be like more living with them, whether time and again. But by the end of the day, I'm working to change something in their life, and it's not like I'll be with them full time, but I have to go on. I also have other things that I do. I have work, you know, I need to pay bills and stuff. So the camera goes off. I have other things. I have a business to run, you know. So anyway, we mix all of that and the day goes. Yeah.
So now I want to ask you this. As someone in this space, why do you think people, like the donations that you get, why do you think it's easier for people to donate to an influencer like yourself than going to an institution that exists? Let's say, for example, people with disabilities, there's FEDOMA, there are all these other institutions that already exist to help these people.
Yeah.
Whereas an influencer like you, we see a lot of people coming together to help. Why do you think there's that gap?
I think the biggest difference is people would like to see what their donations are doing or where they're going. So we always make sure that we let the people, the donors, know.
Accountability.
Yeah. So the transparency that we give them, every little thing we get, bed sheet, we will post it on our page. I don't know, it's a bed sheet, bed sheet. So I think that's what people like to see. That, okay, we gave something, and other than my institutions where Moninkani is, you know, and whatnot. So if people would donate, we would write and would make sure that we donate, and donate, we show Woody Ramazija to Pereka, Katapanga present check, and Ramazija Zakwana John to write a whole list of donors. Kaliwan 2,000.
Mulemba.
Tilemba kawali bida 500 kwacha 200. So I think that's what's the difference, where people can see what they have donated through us than to go to a big institution where you donate, you go, you wouldn't even know what has happened thereafter.
Is this sustainable? When you look at it on the long run, do you see yourself doing this for the rest of your life, constantly helping people? Is it a sustainable model?
Not for the rest of our lives, obviously. We have now formed Citizen Impact Foundation, which has been birthed from the talk show, where we are making it officially as an NGO to be helping.
You're becoming institution.
But like we've always been doing, we also make sure that my donations are it's the same way. Just that we are applying for bigger funding now.
Okay.
Because by the end of the day, and you know, and then by the end of the day, I'm a business or something. Abweranso or Zata Basi, you get? But we need to keep these people sustained for a long run. And as I've said, Indiana would you can't trace. So and how are we going to take care of them? Pompanovas from secondary schools, colleges, and whatnot. And we also have kids with developmental disabilities. We are running a neurocare center in Lilongwe, where we have about 43 children. They don't move their bodies. You get? So we are taking care of these kids, and they need food, they need physiotherapy, they need meds. So all of that needs long-term funding, which we are working to get. And to get that, you don't have to just be an influencer.
Yeah.
You need structures, you know, proper documentation and whatnot.
So how are you going to be different from the other existing NGOs that exist to serve that particular purpose? Because how are you going to be different?
The transparency that I've said.
Okay. Even when you leave, because this sounds like it's tied to you as well.
Yeah, for
Rodwell
now, yes.
who's transparent.
Yes.
So if Rodwell takes a step back and says, let this foundation run on its own.
Yeah.
How sure are you that the transparency is going to continue?
I think it will, because I'm building that team, and the team knows what we do and how we do it. So they're learning, and they have learned so far. But in my stories, then I was already, they do film them on their own. I'm in Blanta. If we have a story in Lilongwe, my team
Someone's going to be
would,
doing it.
would go and film and whatnot. So they know how I do it, and through that guidance, I'm sure we will be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay hopeful with you, because that would be hey.
Yeah, there are these issues now.
I know. It's become the problem.
I know.
Okay, so beyond the philanthropy and your influencership, many people knew you through spoken word.
Yeah,
that's how I met you.
That's how we met.
Yes, I remember those days. So do you think that being a poet kind of trained you to understand human emotions better?
Sort of. I think being a poet taught me how to speak.
Okay.
I was a very quiet person.
You?
Very quiet. Even Antonina and I, when we meet now, they're like, okay, you're so new, like this is a whole new Rodwell. So I think expressing emotions through poetry taught me how to, speak, going on stage, performing and so on. I think that opened up, even when I was studying the show, I didn't think I would be the host.
Really?
Yeah, I actually picked someone until my brother asked me a question, could he... what will happen when he leaves or when he doesn't want to do it again?
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, I think I understand this thing better. I have to do it by myself. So I think that just changed me a lot and gave me a platform, taught me skills that have made me.
And the kind of poetry that you do is actually also, I would like to think it's a bit different from what we're used to thinking of spoken word. Like spoken word is usually very intellectual and artistic. Yours leaned more towards everyday life, everyday activities.
Yeah.
Where was that influence coming from?
It's very different. Yeah. I think, like I've said, it's the way I grew up. I didn't, like I told you, I left my mom, and at a young age, where I came to town to go to school and stuff. I came to Lilongwe, and I think growing up like that in the village and then in the townships, and I wasn't growing up with my parents, obviously, and I've moved from a house to a house. I've stayed with different people. I've understood life very differently. and I like to share those stories with other people as well. That is why when somebody says I'm struggling, school fees,
you understand.
Totally understand that. You get, and I don't think that's laziness because I've been there. You know, it's a whole lot of. It's a long story for them, you know, and there is literally nothing they can do about it. So I think it's just the way I grew up. Okay. Really, yeah.
Then what then moved you into making poetry now, like writing poetry and performing poetry?
At first, as an introvert,
he don't do it much now. He does it, but
no, I know. As an introvert, I used to, when I was in secondary school, I used to write short stories.
Okay.
Yeah. And after I started getting busier with school, until I to write a whole, you know, a lot of pages, because I used to write them by hand.
Wow.
My notebooks and and then until I thought, okay, I think I do not have the time anymore. Can I just write prose? So I started poetry writing to my stanzas, and that's it. Until I started watching poetry and say, I think I can do this. I think I can do that also. And until I started going on stage and organizing poetry shows.
Yeah.
Even, you know?
Yeah. Your whole thing. And then now the introvert has now become an influencer.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you being an influencer now.
Yeah.
Do you think social media creators in Malawi now, especially now that there seems like a lot more people are online, do you think they hold more emotional power over people compared to politicians, churches, mainstream media?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
We have seen that right now Malawians are embracing the internet
a lot.
And it's getting big. And Panova, most people would prefer to just go online, check what's happening, than to buy a newspaper, a hard copy newspaper. True. You get? So I think as influencers, we have a very big role to play. We have seen how the youth have created their platforms, their language that has influenced even government institutions to follow suit. You get, you see them putting in humor in their posts, like how can the ministry or the roads authority, the traffic police pages write this kind of thing. You get? So I think as influencers, as the youth, we have a very big role to play in influencing people, because we already are influencing people.
Yeah.
Some people would just be doing it without knowing, but that's what we are doing, and we need to be careful also on what we are influencing them to do or to follow, because there is a whole generation coming up, and they are finding us on the internet doing what we do. So these little ones are definitely coming and taking after what we are doing, and they're learning from us. So yeah, I think it's the influencers are doing a very big role.
Is it a we? You know somebody more.
Yeah, I'm there.
So, okay, then now this is something that I've always wondered. Who then checks the influencers? Because it kind of seems like there's no rules, there's no regulations. As influencers, you can post, you can do whatever, you can influence people in positive ways, in negative ways. Who's the check? Who's the balance?
Sadly, that's our reality in this country.
Actually, it's even all across the world.
We whatever we do goes really unchecked. You find something good. Okay, this wasn't supposed to be, on Facebook,
and it's art,
and everybody is okay with it.
Yeah,
I think there is more that has to be done. We need to learn, because paliso my influencers then to mango bangas into you get, without even knowing if this is the right thing to do or to post, but we're just doing that
for likes.
Yeah, for likes. And Panoba, most people have understood for people to follow you, you need to be controversial.
Thank you.
So people would search, how can I be, controversial to Malawians?
Bullying other people.
Yeah,
just
yes, like for people to know me, I'm also here in this corner doing this. That's just not okay. And I think the authorities need to do much more in checking.
So Macra at this point in David would be Macra. But then now, if Macra starts checking influencers, freedom of speech.
That's what we would definitely say.
Yeah.
That's what we would
definitely say. I can literally see that a debate happening.
Yeah. Komano, there's some things they go overboard. You go like, okay, this is so not fine. And at least lately you've seen and how Wanganasu, could you get I think and Panova you see Winaka Mbetsangani Enamagabanga comment and lawyer you get like
allegedly.
In a lawyer I can't comment. So I think there is more that needs to be done because people would learn and understand. Okay, Kangari, there are things that we do not need to post or to comment on. You get? Yeah.
Not everything deserves a response.
Not everything deserves publicity.
Honestly,
You get? Taking it to the public, just show people what they must see, but not everything.
Speaking of some things that we don't need to talk about, but I'm going to ask you about this. If you're comfortable sharing, that's fine. If you're not comfortable sharing, that's also fine.
Yeah.
You recently survived an accident. And now, I think over the past 12 months, there's been a lot of scary accidents. Involving very important people.
Yeah.
And when that happened to you, did that experience, and it was a bad accident, did that experience change how you look at mortality, the pace that you're living life? Did it make you rethink how you're doing things to some extent? Not that you're doing anything bad.
No.
Let's be clear. I don't think
I think everything like that, every accident would change anyone's mind or how they see things. Life is very fragile, and living it is grace. So when that happens, all you think about is, I'm lucky, I'm alive. Praise be to God. But there are times you question, like, okay, what have I done? Where would I go? Like, if I live today, what will people talk about me? What's my legacy? Things like that. But all in all, it does leave something in you. Yeah.
And being as famous as you are now, did it make it harder to deal with those things? Like,
yeah. Being famous, everything that you're involved in.
Yeah, people pay attention.
Yeah, people talk about stuff. You go somewhere and people always bring into dinner that I get you were and be like, okay, I saw something, I saw this, I saw that. So I think it's always hard to do with some things, even when sometimes you need privacy.
Yeah.
These things always pop up and people always come through and say, no, we saw this, we saw that. What happened? Yeah.
Okay. Maybe let's wrap up because we can talk forever. To wrap up the conversation in a way. Through the people that you meet physically.
Yeah.
Not the ones that you meet online, but what would you say is the most common hidden struggle that Malawians are silently carrying right now?
I think it's what we have been for so long rejecting that it exists. I think it's mental health, where a lot of people do struggle in their minds. Like, I talk with the youth mostly, and I know that most of them do not have direction of their lives.
In what way?
Okay, I'll give you an example whereby around 10 a.m. you can go around residential areas. You meet a lot of young people, angokhala muzibira. You get? Akanda tsigana, akanda nyamada. angokhala, literally. You ask them, akuzana kuti tinalemba maeso a MSc. But do they have a plan? They don't. Do they know what will happen thereafter? They don't. You ask their parents, they don't know. What are you waiting for? They don't know. Nobody knows. Their parents do not. Their uncles do not. They themselves do not. Muntu yu anzaka 21, 22. Do they have a direction in their lives? They don't. Mube zodu kunyumba kwa kuja kule 6, 7 and nobody has a plan. You get? So we are a generation that we are not learning anything. You ask them, do you know anything? Do you know any skill? They don't. Can they do business? They've never done. They know nothing about it. This is a person with an active brain, is 22, 23, can do anything. If you give them something, okay,
actually, that's true.
You get? And this person literally doesn't know anything, hasn't learned anything. And some will even go to the extent of demanding, no, I think in this bank is, I think Muzundabasa 400,000. Why I will not? Like, what's your value?
Do you think it's because of, not because of per se, Komano, do you think it's, schools should change, like should be changed in our syllabus? Because like you've said, yes.
We
don't know what to do. Like you said, my skills are libe. So shouldn't it become something that's taught for school?
It's not always about
business
school.
Studies, business studies should just be about studying other people's business.
Yes.
We should actually be teaching people how to run a business.
How to run a business. We need skills. Pali anthu ambiri okuti zimene nazo kuti ena oti analemba MSc. Zokuti apita college they don't know. Alibe china chilichonse. Exactly. Like makamaka mata amakhala kuti you reach 23 years old, you know nothing. Literally nothing. You get? Exactly, you know? And that's sad. Very sad. And this is a generation that we are raising. They are watching us right now. They have their kids in their houses. They are 22, 23. Only the man is working. He goes home. 4 or 5 at home. They are watching TV. They are 22. They are 23. Ena 25. Ena 30. They're doing nothing and they know nothing. That's very dangerous.
It is.
For this country.
Whose responsibility is it?
All of us.
That direction.
All of us.
When I know Makolo, I'll be direction. And I'll be direction. Who's
Makolo, I think kunogo ndifantho kuti kandule mukwambiri kandi chani kaya we timasekereza nzopusa. You get? I think that's the right word. Timasekereza nzopusa kwambiri. Makolo amusiya mwana pakhomo iwo apita ntchito. Mwana uja anzaka 23. Amatani palibe analemba maeso tudikira kuti kodi apita kuti. How long are you waiting for? Apeza kuti mwina 2 years ali kunyumba. Like, and that's the order of the day. And this is happening in so many families. It's not helping. You see that most girls would just get pregnant, you know?
Become somebody else's burden.
Because they're just staying at home like for 2 years. It gets boring also, you get? And the fact that these parents, and on top of that, the children themselves do not have plans for their lives. So I think this is the most biggest thing that as Achinyamada, our young people, we are facing. And you see them going on social media. You see. You get busy. You know? Instead of doing something productive. So I think we lack the direction. I think this is an opportunity for me to say, most of us are very disorganized. You know? You like the discipline of learning. I can volunteer. You get?
That's another thing, hey? We don't have a volunteering culture in Malawi.
No, we don't. No, we don't. People, somebody who knows nothing would demand money for learning.
Yeah.
It's easy. Like, dude, you're learning this. But no, they need to be paid for no value at all. just because they are there, would their presence. This is very bad. And we are producing, even an Amina Jaga college, they come back. Most people, you see them, you get? Timana Mizana would know we are very hardworking people. No, we're not. I'm why we like comfortability wambiri. You ask these kids ametune na okuti analemba so they are 23. Kwa uzoti tapita in town mukanga nenchiro akuzo. In town and then ndikafika bwanji. You know, then ndikambira bati. We are connection. Amachiro nenelera kuti ndimakonda kugona. You've met those people. Masano madan, ndimakonda kugona. I would sleep the whole day. And that's so normal to everyone. Even kwao it's normal. Alikuti akutokala kugona mene. That's not normal.
You know, the other day in town, I saw a man wearing chikwangwani jolemba looking for a job as a driver.
Exactly.
And I was in a car with some people. And they were literally like, "Kudu yakupanga chat." And I said, "I was
Chiro." That's literally
him trying to do something about his life.
That's what we should be doing, actually. We can't be comfortable with uselessness. Munungo kalabas. Like, all day. I think, as the youth, we can start. Anyway, with anything.
And the fact that the majority of the country is the youth.
You see? Komaji Nyamata, not so many of them are doing anything. And that's very terrible. And that's our reality right now.
And that does contribute to the whole mental health thing that you said. Because if you don't have a purpose in your life,
what will you do? What will you do? Where will you go? And this increases even Ubagumene. And this increases Kudi. We are having Timawadi, Togudi, Tana. People are getting married because they have nothing more to do. Like Nendizan, I think I can just get married 1-2 years later. Zatavo, you get? Because truthfully, what are they going to be doing there? So all these things as a people, Pokaba, I think we are doing very wrong. And generation metu bangarez is a kayoda buita kambiri because we like being comfortable. Uncomfortability people don't want to do anything, and lack of direction is very big. Very big.
Rodwell,
yeah,
thank you for choosing to be here.
Thank you.
It was a big choice. Thank you for being open and honest. Thank you for the work that you do and the lives that you save.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if you hear it often, you really are an inspiration.
Thank you.
But you're an inspiration. And the work you do, truly, nobody can do it but you.
Thank you very much. I know it's also not easy for us. As I said, I'm running a business. I should run around. And for people that recognize what I do, I'm also grateful and thankful. And thank you, Face2Face, for having me.
Of course. And please plug your show. People must also watch your show. Episode The Citizen.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
See you on the next episode of the Face2Face podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.